Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the 20 most beautiful books in my possession, and I am so excited because I am a lover of all things cover design and book illustration. I have been in the process of designing my first debut novel, and I am also illustrating this novel, so I wrote, illustrated, and basically designed the whole thing, and it has been the most fulfilling process that I've ever done. I went to school for illustration, and I have been an artist my whole life. I love talking about this kind of thing, so I hope you're excited, and I am just going to go through these 20 books, why I think they are so beautiful, why they are some of my favorite cover designs. I'm not really going to highlight what the actual stories are about, really just their aesthetics on the outside. So I hope that sounds good to you, and I'm just going to start talking about this first book, which is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is the Faber and Faber edition, and I love everything about this cover design. So we have a cassette tape on the cover, and that has a role in the story. It's also very significant with where Kazuo Ishiguro got the title of the story from. I love this blue. I love how it's monochrome. I love the texture of the wording. I love how this part of the cover is matte and how this part is glossy. The thought that went behind this cover design is immaculate. The next book is one that I have loved for years and years and years, and that is The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DiCamillo, illustrated by Timothy Basil Eyring. So we have Despereaux on the cover, and it also has this really beautiful texture where you can sort of imagine what the background is, but it's very abstract and also kind of impressionistic with the textures. But I just love how the focus is on Despereaux with the needle, and the spine is so beautiful as well as the back illustration. This is just such a beautiful book, which really has the essence of the story inside, and I just think aesthetically it is absolutely beautiful. I just love the illustration style so much. Then we have this beautiful edition of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is the 80th anniversary edition, Virago Modern Classics, and it is an imprint of Brown Books, Little Brown. And it says, the design and illustration is by Hannah Wood. Just how absolutely beautiful is that cover? Oh my gosh, and the back is also gorgeous. When I first saw this cover, I just fell in love with it. It is so incredibly beautiful, and it again captures the story so well, and I think it's so regal and elegant and just absolutely beautiful. So this is definitely one of my favorites. Also, anything with gold foil you will see with these next books. I love any book with gold foil on it. The next one I have is this first edition of A Movable Feast. I got this when I was visiting Emma in Canada, in Toronto. I have loved this painting for years, and they don't sell it anymore, unfortunately. I do think you can get like a reproduction of it, but the fact that this is a first edition hardcover and it has a beautiful painting of Hemingway on the back, this book is just so special to me, not only because it is a beautiful first edition, but also because I got it with Emma and it has such a wonderful memory behind it. But I love Hemingway. This is one of my favorite books of his, tied for first with A Farewell to Arms, but this is nonfiction, and A Farewell to Arms is fiction, but also inspired by true events. So I just am so glad that I have this very special edition. Like I said, I love gold foil, and it is shown in this choice, and that is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I actually haven't finished this book yet, but I am desperate to continue reading it and pick it up again. I love navy blue. Navy blue is one of my favorite colors, and then I love how navy blue is paired with gold foil. I think it's just such a stunning combination, and this book is absolutely beautiful. I also love the inside end papers, and I believe it's just red. Oh, is that not the most beautiful thing? Oh my goodness. I think this one speaks for itself. Here we have more gold foil. This is Tin Man by Sarah Winman, and this is Van Gogh's Sunflowers. How stunning! How stunning. I love the colors. The color palette is so beautiful. I love how they have some of the gold foil going in and out of the lettering. I think it's beautifully done, and it's just such a stunning book. I also really love when books are on the smaller side. This size is just very readable, and I love this book so much. It also captures the story very beautifully as well. This also has a stunning paperback version as well. More navy blue and more gold foil. This is The Lost Spells by Robert Macfarlane and illustrated by Jackie Morris. It's a stunning book of poems or spells, and the illustrator Jackie Morris does these gorgeous watercolors. So you can see the beautiful watercolors she did. I also love the stars on the cover. Inside we have her beautiful watercolor work. Look at those beautiful end papers. It's embossed so beautifully. So again, just so much thought has gone into this cover design and book design in general, and I love it. The inside is just as beautiful as the outside. I think it's lovely and gorgeous, which is why it's on this list and in this video. I think this next one also speaks for itself, and that is Circe by Madeline Miller. This is the UK edition from Bloomsbury. Isn't it just the most beautiful thing? Oh my gosh, and it goes on to the back. I don't have much to say about this one. Also, beautiful end papers, and the fact that books can be this beautiful, speechless. Another gorgeous one from one of my favorite cover designers, Corley Bigford Smith. She designed these beautiful covers for some of F. Scott Fitzgerald's works, and this one is the one for The Great Gatsby. Again, I think this captures the story so beautifully and the vibe of the 1920s. I just think it's so gorgeous, and also on the back it has a bookmark built in to the dust jacket, but I haven't cut it out because I just don't want to ruin it, but I think that that's such a unique touch to add to a book jacket. I adore this next one. It was given to me by my best friend Emma. This is a reproduction of the original publication, the first edition of A Christmas Carol. It's just the canvas board, which I think is so beautiful. The inside is green and it has that gorgeous gold foiling. Part of the cover is also embossed, as you can see, and then the spine is gorgeous as well. And all of the inside illustrations are in full color. And last but not least, it has gold edges. This next one I think is just such a cool addition, and that is Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence. This is a vintage penguin. It's one of the older versions of the orange penguins. I associate this book with this cover, and I was so lucky to get my hands on it secondhand. So now we are going on to specific editions of books, and I tried to pick my favorite among them. So I have a few of these vintage penguins, but I think this one, out of the ones that I own, is my favorite. Then this is my favorite penguin black spine. I have so many penguin black spines, so this was very hard to choose, but my favorite is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I love this painting so much. It is a cover detail from The Cemetery by Caspar David Friedrich, and it is from Dresden. I love the aesthetics, I love the mood, I love the atmosphere. I kind of like, I do want to walk into this cemetery, but I also really don't. So, yes. I think this one is my favorite, although I do love so many of the penguin black spines. And then the next one, I picked my favorite Pushkin press book. I don't have too many of these, but this one is so beautiful, and that is The Beauties by Anton Chekhov, and this is his essential stories, so these are some of his short stories. So I just love how they made the hair like these rippling water into the hair, and then the lips. I just love the colors, love the design. This is also reminding me that I have to finish reading through these stories. I've only read a few of them, if you can see my tabs in there. I am so lucky to have a few Folio Society books. All of them are gorgeous, but my favorite is Anna Karenina. This is the back. Anna Karenina. On the cover, we have Levin. We have Levin on the cover. If you have read Anna Karenina, you know that Anna Karenina is not only about Anna Karenina. It is also about a character named Konstantin Dmitrovich Levin, who is my favorite character in all of literature. I just connected so deeply to his character when I first read the book years ago, I think in 2019. Oh gosh. And so my heart just belongs in this book. And so I have been an advocate for Levin's story since 2019, since I first read the book, and every single edition of Anna Karenina always has Anna on the cover, which understandably so, her name is the title, but I also feel like just as much as Anna is a part of that story, Levin is a huge part of that story that I feel like his story never gets highlighted in adaptations, in the cover design, and so when I saw this cover had Levin on it, I needed to have it. Also, the illustrations inside the book, are absolutely breathtaking. Look how stunning that is. And this is my favorite illustration from the whole book. It's Levin and Kitty. I love this edition so much. I love the simplicity. I love that he's a silhouette just in gold foil. I love the trees. So, my favorite edition of Anna Karenina is definitely this one. Speaking of Tolstoy, I was looking through my Everyman's Library books, and those are some of my favorite editions as well, and I was trying to pick which ones were my favorite, or which one was my favorite. I picked two, but they kind of go together, and that is Leo Tolstoy's short fiction, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Why I picked these was, number one, I scoured the earth for them because they are very hard to find. And what I love is that the first volume has a painting of him younger and the second volume has a painting of him older. And I think that is just beautiful. It's just like the evolution of time, the evolution of his writing, the evolution of him as a person and an author. I just love how these paintings look. I love a good Tolstoy portrait. You guys know I have drawn his portrait so many times because I just think there are some faces that are perfect to draw and that I love to draw, and Tolstoy's is one of them. So, love these books so much. They are definitely my favorite Everyman's edition. Then I chose my favorite Penguin Deluxe edition. I have a few of them. They're all so beautiful, but this one is definitely my favorite. It was sent to me by a lovely subscriber, which makes it even more special, and that is Emma. This is the Penguin Threads edition. They had the incredibly talented artist Jillian Tamaki embroider and design this cover, and it is absolutely stunning. I think it fits the vibe of Emma so well, and it's beautiful. It also has a really nice texture to it. It is a bit embossed, and then under the dust jacket we have beautiful French flaps, which also are embroidered, and then under the dust jacket we have the opposite side of the embroidery, which I think is such a cool and unique touch. And then on the back we have braids with a quote, and then again we have embroidery on the inside flap, and then also the opposite side of the embroidery. This actually inspired me to embroider a cover design for Anne of Green Gables, which I did in my last year of art school, and I love how that came out. And I think that's the beautiful thing about book cover design, is it's so inspiring, and just seeing the Penguin Threads editions made me want to do my own version, and so I loved working on that Anne of Green Gables embroidery cover, and I actually made a video out of it, so if you'd like to see, I will link it in the corner, where you can watch me embroider the cover for Anne of Green Gables. Then I had to decide which was my favorite Pan Macmillan Collector's Library book. You guys can see them up there. I have so many of them, and I love each and every one of them so much. But I think this one might be my favorite, and that is Persuasion by Jane Austen. I love these books. I have loved them for years. They are some of my favorite editions of books absolutely ever, and I just love this cover of Persuasion. Persuasion is not my favorite Jane Austen, but this painting I think is just so beautiful. And then on the back there is this painting, but I really just love it for this one. I remember finding this edition and being just so taken by it. Again, there is just so much artistry behind these books. The edges are gold and the inside end papers are beautiful. I will never stop collecting these. This next one is my favorite In Bloom book. So Puffin Books, which is the children's lit version of Penguin Books. Puffin came out with books in collaboration with Anna Bond, and Anna Bond is the artist behind Rifle Paper Company. I love everything that she does. All of her work is so beautiful. And she came out with an In Bloom collection with Puffin. And the first collection was Little Women, Anne of Green Gables, Heidi, and A Little Princess. And then she just came out with 3 Jane Austen books, Sense and Sensibility, Emma, and Pride and Prejudice. And I picked up Sense and Sensibility. Oh! How gorgeous is this? Oh my gosh. So I have yet to read Sense and Sensibility, but I am going to be reading it very soon. I am probably going to be in the middle of it when you see this video, and I'm very, very excited. When I saw this edition, navy blue, gold foil, and flowers. It's just everything I love. On the back there's a quote. It says, "To wish was to hope, and to hope was to expect." And then the end papers. Oh my gosh. Because these are made for Puffin, which is usually for a younger audience, they made the font a little bit bigger, which I love, because usually most classics, which are printed for an adult audience, the font can be quite small. So I really love how the formatting of these books are, and I just think it is stunning. This is definitely my new favorite Puffin In Bloom book. This second to last book I have to show you is my favorite Penguin English Library book. This was another really difficult decision, but out of all of my Penguin English Library books, I think this one really is my favorite. I am quite confident in my decision. And that is this very big bind-up of all of Jane Austen's novels. So this is the complete novels of Jane Austen, and this is of course designed by Corley Bickford Smith. I love the colors, I love the pink, I love the characters dancing. I just think it's such a beautiful edition, and it's so nice to have a bind-up of all of Jane Austen's books. The last beautiful book I have to show you is my favorite Penguin clothbound. Again, this was such a difficult decision. I love every single one of my Penguin clothbounds, but I do think this one is my favorite, and it's probably not going to come as much of a surprise having said what I have said about these other books. So that is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. It's navy blue and there are stars on it. I'm sold. In War and Peace, there is a scene with, it's called the Great Comet. They call it the Great Comet. And that is what the designer Corley Bickford Smith decided to put as a pattern on this book. And I think it was such a great choice. I love this cover design. I think it's brilliant, and it's my favorite. So that's why I have it here. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my 20 most beautiful books. All of my books are beautiful, but it was fun to try and pick a top 20, or pick the ones that I personally love the most, or that I think are the most beautiful. All of my books, like I said, all of my books are the most beautiful, but it was really fun to just try and narrow it down and make a list. And why these, I think, in particular, I love so much. I would love to know what books are your favorite, or what books in your possession you think are the most beautiful. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon in another video. As always, happy reading.